Ah, hello, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Namaste. Nice to be here with you guys. Happy Sunday. My name is Kaelan, and every Sunday I log on here to YouTube Live to host a guided meditation session. And this week is no exception. So I invite you to get cozy. I'm sitting on the ground. You don't have to. You can sit in a chair or lie down. Do what makes you feel good. And tonight we're going to invite our oracle cards to pick the theme. So usually bring in something that I feel like is something I'm working on, maybe one of my one-on-one clients are working on in their life, something I've been thinking about. But sometimes it's also just nice to let a hand of fate decide what should we focus on today. So these are my oracle cards. I've created them myself. We're actually currently doing a Kickstarter for them. So if you dig them, you can check them out. The link is at the top of my link tree. So what is something we need to focus on today in our spiritual work? What do we need to focus on today in our spiritual work? Here's a good one. I just did it. Reconnect with the natural world. Reconnect with the natural world. So I was just outside taking my dog for a walk. It's a beautiful, warm-ish, blustery day here in Washington, D.C. And so just appreciating having the sun on my skin, the wind in my hair, the earth underneath my feet, and reconnecting with the natural world. An idea I've been exploring lately is the fact that our mind is not our own. Our mind is actually just, what we experience as our mind is just a facet of the larger mind, that the mind is part of the plants and animals and people around us, and that we have a collective mind that we just see a small part of. And so when we reconnect with the natural world, we reconnect with our larger self, our more expansive, more radiant self. So we're going to be drawing on some nature imagery for tonight's meditation class. So settle in. Blessings. So nice to be here with you. And to everyone here on the live chat, welcome. It's so nice to see you. This is going to be on both my YouTube channels. So if you hear me respond to a live chat question you can't see, it's just because it's on my other YouTube channel. Let's begin. So we're going to begin by just taking a couple slow belly breaths. Try to feel the breath deep in your belly. And I don't want you to force the breath in any way, but invite the breath to slow down, to drop deeper. Feel yourself sink inside yourself. And obviously the lungs only reach down to about the bottom of your ribs where the diaphragm is. But I want you to envision that your lungs are going all the way down into the space beneath your belly button. Imagine your lungs are going all the way down into the hip bones, the bottom of your pelvis. I want you to even feel like you're breathing all the way down into the space beneath your hips. So whether you're sitting on a cushion or the floor, doesn't matter. Imagine you're breathing all the way down into the earth itself. We have a tendency to believe in human exceptionalism. We are something so much greater than the animals, and certainly the plants, and certainly the landforms of this planet. But I disagree. And many traditions disagree with that assertion. Animals are fully sentient, aware, awake beings. Plants are fully aware, sentient beings. Heck, trees and many plants also, but trees certainly have analogous neurotransmitter chemicals to humans. Their whole structure almost functions like a giant nerve cell. Landforms, mountains, hills, valleys, oceans have memory, have awareness. So root yourself down into these more primal, earthy structures and realize you, because you are human, are not better than them. You are not necessarily more wise or more intelligent or more aware. You are just one part of a very beautiful, very complex, radiant web. And to stop seeing yourself as being above the earth, but part of it, embedded in it, wedded to it. So as you breathe and you breathe down, down through your hips into the earth, imagine yourself breathing into the mycelial matrix, the fibers of mycelium that run throughout the ground, connecting all beings. You know these networks because their fruit are mushrooms, which you've all seen. Breathe. Did you know that tree roots will sometimes exchange nutrients, water, information with their neighbors? When it senses a tree is in distress, they can even keep a stump alive for hundreds or even thousands of years through these underground networks. They trade information through the roots, through the mycelium. Imagine yourself as being a peer, an equal of the brother and sister animals, brother and sister plants, the brother and sister landforms, that we are meant to live together rather than one dominating the other. And breathe deeper. Go deeper. And imagine your consciousness spreading down and out, almost like roots. Imagining yourself becoming part of the land, integrating yourself into it. That you are not just some lone wanderer on the earth, but you are a rooted, integrated being. Breathe. And notice what happens when everything slows down. When your mind slows down, when the breath slows down, when you drop lower and lower through your body and reconnect with the soil, with the earth. Can you feel the underground aquifers? Can you feel the empty caverns deep within the earth's crust? And I know many of you are probably watching this from the comfort of your living room or sitting room, office, car maybe. I want you to envision yourself as being seated in a grove of what I'll call mother trees. You see, the forests want to be much older than the forests we're accustomed to. Before industrialization, forests would have trees that were not just hundreds of years old, but even millennia old. And what's interesting is as a tree gets older, its chemical composition changes, what it offers through its leaves and drops to the soil changes. It offers different things based on its age. It cares for the other trees and nourishes them. It changes the pH of the soil through the chemicals it creates. So I want you to envision yourself in a grove of ancient mother trees. They have watched generation after generation, generation after generation of people. And they stand wise, powerful, and deeply alive. Oh, mourn for the mother trees we have lost. But here in your heart of hearts, you can feel them. Feel how they are part of you, part of the land, part of this earth. In your mind's eye, in your heart, envision the little ferns unrolling their tentacles and growing through the mist and the shadow and the morning light. Ferns are some of the oldest plants. They have been around since practically the beginning. They were from the first to arise after the lichen, the moss. After the slime. Feel yourself connecting with the dirt that is composed of previous life forms. The shredded bits of tree bark, the droppings of different animals and insects, bodies that have decayed and returned back to the mother, back to source. And allow your sense of breath and expansion to move and get bigger. Allow your breath and expansion to get bigger than your physical body. Remember that you are not limited to your solitary point of view, your limited sense of mind. Remind yourself that you are part of something so much vaster. So allow your sense of self to expand to encompass that. Allow your sentience to take up as much space as you'd like. Perhaps becoming as vast as the clear blue sky on an autumn day. What if you reach from horizon to horizon, clear and blue? We keep ourselves so small. We keep ourselves so limited. Society likes us to be that way because we're easier to control. But you are not small, you are not limited, you are something vast and ancient and powerful. You are part of this earth is part of you, you are inseparable from each other. Even if you live in a city, even if you spend far too little time outdoors, it is still part of you. Your mind is inseparable from it. It is inseparable from you. I'd like you to place your hands on your heart and give thanks for all of the natural world elements that have helped guide and support you on your journey. Maybe it's a childhood pet or a dog you presently have. Maybe it's some birds that sat beside you on a park bench one memorable afternoon. Maybe it's a garden at your grandmother's home when you were a child. Maybe it's a basil plant you keep on your kitchen window. Maybe it's a storm curled up under your blankets as you watch it pass by your windows. Maybe it's the fresh new buds of spring or the crisp leaves of autumn, the bare, beautiful branches of winter, or the beautiful green of summer. Maybe it's gratitude for that ladybug who crawled across your finger one afternoon, or for that squirrel who watched you while you had your lunch, plotting to steal some of your leftovers. What are you grateful for in this natural world? What is it you're grateful for? And when you feel that gratitude for the natural world connections you have, go ahead and take your hands and just allow them to rise up, offering up that gratitude up and out of you. Send it off to your higher self, or send that gratitude off to someone who you know needs a little extra love and support. Maybe somebody's not doing too well physically. Maybe you dedicate it to all sentient beings who are suffering. Or maybe you dedicate it to the natural world itself, asking for its healing, for everything we've done as humans. And again, returning to this notion that you are not separate from the natural world, you are an integral part of it. And you always have been. Now, when you're done, allow your hands to come to rest on your lap or on your knees. You're going to bring hands together at the heart, palm to palm, bowing to your highest self, bowing to your teachers, your guides, your protectors, your ancestors, all those who walk beside you on your journey. Feel free. And as you come back to the room, feel free to move into a little bit of conversation. Keep some of your focus inside on your breath. This is a chance for us also to just connect and chat about what's going on in your spiritual journey. If you have any observations or comments you want to share from today's meditation, feel free. Or if anything else is going on in your spiritual journey and you want to talk about it, ask some questions, share some insights, have a conversation around what's going on for you. Maybe some weird happened in meditation, you're welcome to post a question about it. Happy to chat. Or maybe any questions about what's going on in the wider world. I'm more than happy to share my perspectives. But this is a time and space for that. And such a privilege, such an honor to get to share space with spiritual community. The term in Sanskrit for it is called Sangha. It's spiritual fellowship, Sangha. Those who see you for who you are at your heart, not just for your external, but for what's going on inside. We all need spaces like that. And if there are no questions today, that's totally cool as well. I'll also share that me and my beautiful partner, Anthony, have been investing a lot of energy in finding the perfect space for us to create a sacred space with you all. So we're continuing to look at new venues, new locations, trying to find some tens of acres for us to create a sacred abode, to host events, and have you all come do spiritual work with us. So if that's something you feel so called to partake in, please do hit me up. Ask how you can get involved as we get clarity around where that may be. I posted a big update for patrons this morning on Patreon. So if you want to hear more, you can head over there to learn something about what we're looking at and helping to manifest. Also, just again, a shout out today, we picked a topic based on my Oracle deck, the 48 Gateways to the Ecstatic Self. It is currently on Kickstarter, so it's a wonderful deck. It's beautifully body celebratory. It's very nature-based. It's very embodied. So feel free to check that out and give it some support if it's something that appeals to you. All right, someone asks, I just got promoted to supervisor. My manager wants me to act very negative towards my coworkers with my work ethic. It goes against who I am. I don't really know how to keep everything stable. Oof. Yikes, that's a very hard situation. I watched my husband go through something similar, where he got hired by a company where the person he reported to, the COO, was tyrannical, ruled by intimidation. And she wanted him to behave that way, and that's against his disposition too. One of the things I would really encourage you is to sit with the cost-benefit analysis. Is this job giving me what I need and what I want, given the current circumstances? How much is it costing me? Something that is often said is people don't quit jobs, they quit managers. The number one reason people give for leaving their place of employment or changing roles is leadership. It's not pay, it's not time off, it's not working conditions, it's just leadership. And so if you say, you know what, it's worth figuring this out, it's worth staying in this role, it's the best choice I've got going on, then you find a way to work with it. Personally, I'm very conflict willing. I'm very willing to have a difficult conversation. So I would go to the manager and say, hey, you hired me because you believe in me. And so I'm going to get results in the way that I can, that I feel best about. My leadership style is not intimidation. I'm not going to do that. I will not be effective with that. So if you want me to succeed, you need to give me the space to do that. And see how receptive they are to that. But with that comes the willingness to say, hey, I need to be in a place where I'm in alignment. And if I'm not in alignment, then I need to find a place where I can be. Because your happiness and your well-being is worth more than anything. I don't care how much money they're going to pay you. If you're miserable making that money will be a stain on your honor. You'll look at it and be like, oh, this was not worth it. So I would just encourage you to really just see how can you do what you need to do, be respectful, but realize we often have more choices than we think we do. And see what you can do with that. Someone asked, I would really like to buy your new cards and book. Is it just in the fundraising stage? So the book and cards are basically done, but because the cards have to be printed in bulk, doing it through Kickstarter allows me to kind of get a rough idea how many people want it. So if it's something you want and you support through Kickstarter, you would still get it faster than waiting for me to post it on Etsy. The book will be on Amazon. The cards will not. So I would recommend heading over to Kickstarter and just signing up for it. And then as soon as I get them in, it will be shipped out to you as soon as possible. Someone writes, I want to thank you for all that you do. I wish you and your husband are a beautiful place we could come together. Yeah, Jacob, that's the goal. The goal is to have a place where everyone can gather. We'll host retreats and workshops and have nightly and morning programs, and you come for a day, for a week, for a month, for a retreat, move in, whatever you want. Hopefully you have space for all of that. Someone asks, a friend who thought I was close to stopped responding to my messages. Oh, that sucks. I think ghosting is one of the most unfortunate social behaviors that has become accessible, or we feel like it's an appropriate thing to do. And I think it's one of the coolest things we can do because there's no closure. I do not handle ghosting well. I generally try to avoid doing it myself whenever possible. But what I would just encourage you to do is just send the person love and just ask the universe, like, hey, whatever's in the best interest for all of us. I would like to have closure if that's possible, or if I want to reconnect, is that possible? And if not, can I bless and release this person so I'm no longer feeling connected to them and I'm no longer being hurt by their distance? So in my experience, when someone ghosts, it doesn't usually work out well trying to ask for a conversation, trying to get re-engagement. But if you want to try, go for it. But mainly I would just take your concerns to a higher power and just be like, universe, help me with this. Help me to let go. If I can have closure, great. If we can reconnect and I want that, great. But realize you're going to have to do that work on your own, but just ask for divine support with it. All right, guys, I think that's all the questions that came up today. Thank you all for your love and support. I so look forward to these Sunday sessions. If you ever need anything direct, please know I'm always available. So just email is the best way to reach me. My email address is linked on my YouTube channels, but it's just my name, Kaelan, Kae at ecstaticself.com. I always offer free consultation calls. So if you just want to come and chat with me once or get some insights, feel free. I'm always available. And I always tell people too, if you ever feel called to work with me or go on a retreat, please know that money should never be the reason that you say no. Like if you want to come on a retreat and I've got space for you and you say, all I can pay is $100, if that's all you can pay and you still want to go, we'll see if we can make it work for you. If you want to work for me and you're on a budget, we'll find a way to make it work for you. So I really just try to be here and be of service and offer my best. And I feel this as just my way to give back for what has been given so freely and lovingly to me. All right, sending you all much love, much blessing. Be kind to each other. Stay safe out there in this crazy world. I know some people are going to be protesting tomorrow. Please be safe. Protect your energy. Protect yourselves. And love, blessings. Misha and Brett, my friends. And we'll talk more soon, okay? Have a great night.